Hello, dear community. It's my pleasure to be today with Sonia Dubey Dewan. She's the president of AICI India Chapter, and today we're going to talk about some cultural differences between Ecuador and India, especially when doing business. So, Sonia, I have heard that it's kind of rude to leave food on the plate, and that it's very common to eat it with the right hand. Can you corroborate that?
Yes,
like
absolutely.
That? And would you please give us 2 or 3 recommendations to keep in mind when we do business with people from your country?
Absolutely. So first of all, namaste Viviana from India. Thank you so much for having me on this show and talk about our culture and exchange about the different cultures from Ecuador and India. So it's my pleasure to be here. Your first question, that is it rude to leave food in the plate? Yes, it is, because let me go back a little bit. So in India, there is a phrase which we believe in, which is our core philosophy. When there is a guest or we are talking to anyone who comes into our house, it is said as Atithi Devo Bhava. That means guest is God. All right. Wow. So when guest comes into the house, we put in a lot of effort, a lot of love, a lot of, our efforts and everything into making the whole experience amazing for them. Right. So it is mostly portrayed with presenting the amazing food that we have and our culture has with a lot of spices. So when a food is presented to you, it is presented with a lot of effort that has gone at the back end. So when you leave the food, it is not exactly rude, but it is seen as a gesture that you didn't like what was offered to you and you really hated it. And, when somebody has put in the effort, they kind of feel bad about it that, I put in so much effort, but my guest didn't like that food. So that is why it's kind of not a very positive thing to do, I would say. However, we Indians, we have so many people from so many different cultures, so we are quite accommodating. We understand that our food can be spicy or the spices are totally different with the flavor profile of rest of the world. So it is all right. Sometimes the guest may or may not go very well with the food profile, right? The flavors may not sit very well. So in that case, we are quite accommodating. If you can just tell them that the food is delicious, I love it. I just can't really accommodate or can't really eat that much spicy food or this kind of flavor, they will understand it. So it's about having that communication. But if you don't say anything and you eat a little bit and leave the rest, well, that could be
so if I don't like it, if I apologize, that will be enough for you.
Yes, ideal thing is to just say, just apologies, and best is you start with a little bit. So because they will be serving, you are served in India. So
but it is better to eat it, right?
Yeah.
I love spicy food.
Yeah.
So one day I had to try.
You have to come to India and try it. So just tell them that let me just try that a little bit. If you like it, you can always take more. You will be served more because we love over serving. But yes, please try a little bit. And if at all you have been served without asking and you don't like it or it doesn't work with your flavor, just apologize and say thank you very much. That's ideally the best thing to do. Talking about your second question, that we eat from right hand, that's true. And we usually use our hand. So we don't use that much of, silverware. We don't use that much of cutlery for that matter. Mostly it's a spoon. And that's the culture mostly in most of Asian countries, that we use our right hand and we mostly use the spoon. It's only when we are eating continental or any other cuisine or maybe South Indian cuisine, then we use fork. Otherwise, everything is by hand. So we use our fingers and we use a spoon mostly. So when you come to India, if you're going to an Indian restaurant, just be prepared to break the bread from your right hand and just have the curry, dip into the curry and just have it like that. Yeah. So that's the way it, we all eat at home also and in the restaurant. And that's the best way to enjoy Indian food, means the flavors and everything comes alive with right hand. So yes, it is true. We eat with our right hand.
Thank you. And Sonia, can you give us 2 recommendations that we should keep in mind when doing business with people
Absolutely.
from India?
Absolutely. Yes. So now so what we talked about was more about food and dining etiquette. If you're doing business with people from India, as I said, we are very accommodating. We have people from all across the world who live in our country, and there's diverse culture, people from diverse background. And also because there is a lot of culture which is as per Western culture that has been adopted in India. So almost our first official business language is English. That's why I can speak English. Our actual business language is English. Also, when we are our corporate culture, our business culture is also what is followed in the Western world. So we are almost in sync with what is followed in maybe US or UK, because we were we were a British colony at one point of time. So that's why we have adopted a lot from UK. However, one of the key things that we like to do is to ensure that, we are very communicative. So one of the best thing is to keep communication transparent. One tip that I would give is that do not jump directly to business. When you're doing business and having a conversation with somebody from India, it's really good. One of the best way to build rapport with them is to ask about their whereabouts or how they've been doing, have a little conversation beyond work, and then come to the work. That ways you will be able to, create a very good relationship and bond with them, and the business will move into a positive direction. If you will, get on a call or meet for the first time and directly jump to business, it may turn out good or bad, I don't know. But yes, always asking or starting with the basic courtesy, that would be a great way to begin with an Indian person. So that's one advice. Second is, if at all you feel that you're not aware about what is the thing or what is the way to be within Indian culture, simple thing is to just ask. Just ask that, is this okay as per your culture? Is this all right with you? As I said, we are very accommodating. We are treating we treat our guests as gods. We will be more than happy to show you the right way. We are pretty chilled out that way. So yes, the basic business etiquette, which is very neutral all across the world, that is followed. But one advice that I would give is that you have to start with building the rapport. Don't directly jump to business. Yes. So yeah, that is. And
when you say building rapport, can we talk about family, or that will be too personal? So
we can
talk I ask, how's your family? Yes. So yes, what are the topics that I should avoid? For example, religion, politics.
Yes, so you should definitely avoid politics. Don't ask about the political atmosphere. That is not a great conversation to begin with. Even culture in general, you can start, but when it comes to religion, again, that is something that should be avoided. Money in terms of, if you're having a business conversation, that's all right, but asking about the financial situations or something too personal about them, all those personal questions should be avoided. But politics and religion is a big no-no. That's something that should be avoided. Or even a little bit about you can say the cultural gaps between different parts of the countries. That can get a little tricky for some situations of people. So avoid all those kind of situations. Don't start with politics. Just ask about weather, food. I'll give you best things: weather, food. What is the best what do you do over the weekends, or what is a book you are reading? Just general topics, and mostly
movies,
food and culture.
Okay,
that is the best.
Okay, Sonia, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I know this information will be very useful for our community. So I hope one day I'll go to your country. I would love to, and you can come to Ecuador. You are more than welcome. Thank you very much, and I hope you people like this little interview with Sonia Dubey Dewan from India. Thank you, Sonia.
Thank you. Namaste.
Okay, so namaste.